Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Avenue 5, Season 1, Episode 3. I'm a hand model. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to get some business taken care of out of the way first, and then I'll go into this. So if you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you're on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see at the very end of this video, a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does is takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match one video in my vast video library as much as possible to all that kind of stuff and pops it up there for you. Up here is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off is what's going to be up there, the latest episode of that. Also, if you want to know when I'm going live again next, you can hit the bell down below there. And it's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my schedule that's up there. It's also my Facebook page. Speaking of Facebook, there is a Facebook group page, which you guys can talk amongst yourselves, post stuff, chat, all that kind of good stuff. I guess during the Super Bowl, Facebook was kind of pushing the group thing. So there you go. I'm ahead of the curve on that one. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a Patreon page, but I have no tiers set up as of yet. So there we go. All right. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the shit out of the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. I wish to say that this thing has gotten better, but it hasn't. I really, really, really do not like the characters. So some of the things that I started thinking of, how would I have made this show better as I'm going through this? And one of the things that I first off would have done is spoiler alert or warning, yeah, it's both the same, Apple Crow. What I would have done was I would have done at the bottom of, when you start off the episode, what day it is, how long they've been in space, that kind of thing. That way we know why or how long they've been out there, how many people, how fast things are turning to shit out there, if you will. And that would have made things a lot funnier, one, because especially if you've only been out there for 3 weeks and it's supposed to be an 8-week cruise and everyone's already starting to turn into assholes because they know that they're going to be out there for, well, they thought 6 months. Now it's 3.5 years. Yeah. So that would have been a lot funnier, quite honestly, but missed opportunities. One thing I did not realize that was kind of made apparent finally in this episode was the ship looks like a giant dildo. Granted. Okay, that's funny. Now, once they said that the ship was a giant dildo, I started realizing within the ship's design inside, there's a whole bunch of phallic symbols within the ship itself in its design, because that's what people have done for Judd, the Josh Gad's character. And it's become a game of spotting the dildo now, within the the production as it is. That's actually become more fun than the actual episode itself. So the episode is a bunch of people screaming and bitching at each other, but not really about the situation itself. And people haven't taken that situation kind of seriously either. So I don't know. I mean, other than the woman on the ground, I can't remember her name because honestly, I've almost stopped trying to figure out people's names now at this point because yeah, it's honestly just kind of I don't know, kind of fruitless at this point. Um, so yeah, the woman down in mission control there for Judge's company there, she's the one that's trying to figure this all out for people, but yeah, it's not fun enough to go back and rewatch earlier episodes. Exactly, Penn. If you're not having fun, if you don't like the people, if you're not even jiving with any of these people, if you're not seeing yourself in any of these characters, you're not going to like it. It's actually kind of annoying is really what it is. And I don't know if that was the intent, was to piss off your audience enough or what, because that's all I'm getting off of it is just that the two the married couple that are arguing all the time, that this guy Matt decides to record them or their problems and send it to Vi, I think her name is, that's down on the planet because that's their sister-in-law, or that's I don't know. Yeah, it's just all kinds of fucking weird. And then, of course, we keep getting stuff thrown out there too about what happened in the future. Like we get the vintage of 2024, which was the hottest year on record, where fucking fish ponds were boiling and stuff like that, and also the Hawaii Wars, however you can pronounce it. Basically, the Chinese cell phone company that the NASA person Susan says she fought in the Hawaii Wars, and I'm like, what? That's actually much more interesting than what's going on in the fucking series, to tell you the truth. It's just these little throwouts of things. And yeah, it's gotten to that point where it's just not enjoyable. It really isn't. You're sitting here watching these people bitch at each other, and the situation's not actually funny, to tell you the truth. It's not getting to it's like you saw that guy, the comedian that he's doing stand up, and you have the dead body floating by behind him and he stops. That's exactly what this whole series is. It's a comedy set that has been stopped because a dead body's floating behind you in the window in space. That is a perfect analogy that they put in their own fucking series of what this series is. And I'm going, yeah, yeah, you really you hit the nail right on the head right there. It's just not funny. Um, I have to admit though, I did laugh twice at two jokes. One was at the beginning, and one was Lily's character saying that it's like the tapeworm had crawled out of my ass and bought itself a suit and is sitting right there. But that was few and far in between, and that's just because that writing from that particular whoever happened to be in the writing room that day came up with a good line, but nothing else. And then, of course, we get the realization, the captain finally gets the realization that his bridge crew is not the real bridge crew. They're just actors. One of them, of course, being a hand model, and that the real engineers are living down below them. Um, and Billy shows him all of that. So, yeah. And that Judd probably doesn't know anything about this, so of course don't let Judd know anything. So this whole thing has been a sham the entire thing through, from the beginning to the end here, and probably should have never gotten off the ground in the first place. So yeah, Lily does get some good lines, just not nearly enough. I agree with you, Penn. I'm not really a fan of Lily, to tell you the truth, and Matt was actually okay. I was okay with his character. Now he's on my shit list too. Um, the staff making body parts out of the towels, like an anus with a chocolate in the middle of it, is actually kind of funny, you know. And him taking a picture of it because he thought that was interesting. And it looked, fairly nice, especially the way she got the puckering going. Um, but yeah, I'm not seeing any redemption of any characters here whatsoever, nor do I want to tell you the truth. And then when the one dude, now I'm blanking on his name, the guy who calculated out that it was going to be 6 months initially, then it was now he said no, it's 3.5 years. He said that his calculations were thrown off because he forgot about the 500 lottery winners that were thrown on board, which threw off the weight of the ship, and that if they lose the 500 people, if they basically space the 500 people, that they would actually end up going back on a course to the 6 months again. Yeah. And then, of course, making Karen the annoying passenger, the passenger liaison, so that she can deliver all the bad news to everyone. Um, you know, you knew that was coming at some point in time because he was going to have to work with her at this point. Yeah. And then, of course, him telling her that he's actually British and that he's not a captain, and that he was really a vintner at one point in time, and yeah, and then he was an actor, and yeah, it's just uh, yeah, coitus is off the menu. Oh, that's all I can say about this. What are the chances of it's all a Truman Show sort of situation? I don't know, Apple Crow. I doubt it. Um, I really do doubt it. And yeah, I mean, we even had so speaking of like all these little tidbits of things that happen in the future, you also have the Paris famine with all the children that died that they talk about. They throw that out there too. And it's just kind of like, dude, there were so many other things you could have focused on in this thing. And I don't know. Yeah, it's just not a good show. It's not a again, like I said last episode, it's not thought out. It's a half-baked idea. It should have gone through at least about 12 or 13,000 more rewrites before it even went to series. Is really what should have happened. I know I have someone in the audience that watches when it's a video who actually worked on the production. Sorry, I'm being so harsh on it, man. I know you did a hard job working on it and stuff like that. But it's just not enjoyable. I'm sorry, it really isn't. And it's not you, it's not your work, it's the writers. It's the writers' fault, quite honestly. And that's where it all boils down to is just the writing on this show. The writing does not click. Yeah. When you hate all the characters, I mean literally hate all the characters, except for Billy. Billy's kind of neutral at this point. Um, But yeah, it's kind of like no one's really looking at the big picture of, are we gonna have to start rationing, food? What about water supply? What about, air? All this kind of stuff. No one's really kind of coming up with this. They're kind of still trying to play it for comedy, like, haha, like Gilligan's Island in a way. And it that doesn't work in this kind of situation because you have too many people that are too savvy now with sci-fi, and even if you're playing it for comedy, you still need to bring some of the things that are going to pop up in people's minds if this kind of situation were ever to happen in real life, even if you're doing a comedy. Yeah. And gum on the fucking pillowcase is not going to be the first thing that come to mind to people or care, to tell you the truth about it. And you're not gonna have people calmly eating in a fucking, salad bar or a buffet or anything like that. You're gonna have people that are gonna start hoarding food and, going off into tribes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have rioting, and I don't know how you're gonna play that for comedy, but hey, show me what you got, you know? Uh, there we go. It's all out now. I feel better. So am I recommending the show? No, I'm not. I'm definitely not recommending this show. Um, yeah, I can't. I would love to, but with Hugh Laurie involved and yeah, I don't know how they talked Hugh Laurie into doing this too. Penn, I really don't. So, what was your question, Joe Career? You said you had a question. Will I make it 4 episodes? They're half hour long, so Penn, if they were an hour long, I probably would have dumped it by episode 2. So maybe that's the reason why they only shortened it to half an hour. They're probably looking at it and going, you know what I bet they did is they probably filmed them hour-long episodes, and they're like, "You know what? This is pretty shitty. Let's cut it to half-hour episodes." That's why we have these abrupt cuts after episode 1 and after episode 2, and then they started just doing, half-hour episodes after that. That's all I can say. Oh, you're repeating, Movie Finobi's post. Okay. Yeah. So, what else do I have going on? Tomorrow, I've got, Is It Worth My Time? October Faction. That is the Netflix series October Faction. I'm gonna be talking about that. Tuesday is Project Blue Book, episode 3 of Project Blue Book. I'm gonna be talking about that. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm off. Friday, of course, is the ever excellent Harley Quinn. I can't wait to get some actual comedy in a 22-minute format that's well written. And then Saturday, of course, is Saturday Morning Blast Off. And then that's where I take the genre news of the week and talk about that and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And then we come back around again to Avenue 5 on Sunday. How many more episodes of Harley? We just did 10. So 11, 12, 13, 3 more episodes. That's it. Yeah. And that's actually seems about right. It seems the perfect amount of episodes for Harley. And then I think we go into Stargirl after that is what's going on. Yeah. And of course, we're gonna have the Clone Wars season 2 is gonna be starting up this month as well, or season 7, excuse me, season 2, season 7 of Clone Wars. Hey, brain fart. There we go. Lock and Key starts on Friday, this Friday. So that's gonna be awesome on Netflix, of course. And what else do we got going on? There's some other stuff too. Take a look at suspendedfanimation.com. I've got what's coming up in the future there. Westworld's coming up in March too. Westworld season 3. Yeah. So lots of stuff coming up. It shouldn't be you know. Yes, I see the raw footage for the first Star Wars show for The Mandalorian. I did not. Joe Career, if that's what you're talking about. I've watched the entire first season of The Mandalorian. Or are you talking about Clone Wars? Or there's a lot of different Star Wars shows, so you need to be a little more specific about that one. I did see the trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki, and I was like, "Holy shit, that looks good." That looks really good. So Oh, you're talking about the George Lucas one, the one that he did, yeah, back in 2005? Yeah, I saw it. It was okay. It wasn't, anything spectacular, but we're here talking about Avenue 5, and I don't wanna run longer than the actual episode was because, why? So, with that said, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about joining up, remember there's gonna be a video that pops up here that is picked just for you from your algorithms, all the stuff you've been watching. Up here is gonna be Saturday Morning Blast Off, and take a look at suspendedfanimation.com for my schedule. Also, I have a Twitter or Instagram, and I have a Patreon page. There we go. So thank you everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I will let you go for the evening. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that the entire spaceship that you're flying in looks like a gigantic dildo, and you're surrounded within the studio props themselves of dildo-esque designs. Uh, which is funny, but you know, maybe they should have paid a little more attention to the script than they did on the set details. Anyway, thank you, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow night. Have a good rest of your night.